A very good morning to all of you. You're watching Breakfast News. My name is Aditi Nagpal Girotra. Let's get the bulletin rolling with the headlines first. Prime Minister Modi to address poll rallies in Haryana and Maharashtra. Senior BJP leaders Amit Shah to campaign in Maharashtra. Rajnath Singh in Haryana. Congress chief Sonia Gandhi and BSP Supremo Mayawati in Haryana. ED likely to question NCP leader Praful Patel in money laundering case linked with illegal assets of gangster Iqbal Mirchi. Piyush Goyal says investigation fully free and fair. Government probing Flipkart, Amazon for alleged predatory pricing during discount sales. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal warns of stringent action, asserts e-commerce companies won't be allowed to harm retail sector. India asks Pakistan not to levy $20 fee on pilgrims to Kartarpur corridor. Ministry of External Affairs hopes agreement to operationalize corridor will be signed soon. Turkey agrees to 5-day ceasefire in northern Syria against Kurdish forces. US President Trump welcomes decision by Vice President Mike Pence and Turkish President Erdogan. Campaigning is on full swing in poll-bound Haryana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold election rallies in Haryana's Gohana and Hisar districts. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will address 3 election rallies in Berry, Prithla and Sohna. Congress President Sonia Gandhi will also campaign in Haryana. She will address election rally in Mahendragarh for Congress candidate Rao Dan Singh. BSP Supremo Mayawati is also scheduled to campaign in the state for her party's candidates in Gurugram and Chhajjar. Our news correspondent Tipu is on phone line with us. Let's gather more information on elections. Tipu, elections are just around the corner. How's campaigning gaining momentum in the poll-bound state Haryana?
जी अदिति, बिल्कुल जिस तरीके से आप देख रही हैं कि हरियाणा विधानसभा चुनाव के लिए सिर्फ 32 घंटे बचे हुए हैं, तो लगातार तमाम बड़ी राजनीतिक पार्टियां अपने दिग्गजों को मैदान में उतार रही हैं। पीएम मोदी लगातार रैली कर रहे हैं। आज उनकी रैली सोहाना और हिसार में होनी है। उसके अलावा कल भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर यहाँ पे रैली करेंगे। उसके अलावा कांग्रेस भी पूरी ताकत लगा रही है दोबारा सत्ता में वापसी पाने के लिए। कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष सोनिया गांधी की भी आज यहाँ पे रैली होनी है। पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह भी रैली करेंगे। उसके अलावा जो छत्तीसगढ़ के मुख्यमंत्री हैं भूपेश बघेल, वो भी यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं। तो आप कह सकते हैं कि तमाम जो दिग्गज नेता हैं, तमाम पार्टियों के वो पूरी ताकत लगा चुके हैं यहाँ पे। उसके अलावा जेजेपी ने अपना घोषणा पत्र भी, हालांकि चुनाव के ठीक पहले ऐसी पार्टी है जिसने सबसे आखिर में अपना घोषणा पत्र जारी किया है। 160 वादे किए हैं। वाल्मीकि समाज, युवाओं और दलित वर्ग पे खासा ध्यान इनका रहा है। तो अपने अपने तरीके से तमाम पार्टियां चुनाव में आगे बढ़ रही हैं, मतदाताओं से संपर्क साध रही हैं। कोई रैली कर रही है, कुछ लोग पंचायतों के माध्यम से अपनी तरफ माहौल को बनाने में लगे हुए हैं। तो बहुत ही दिलचस्प जो चुनाव प्रचार है हरियाणा में, वो अपनी दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहा है। अदिति
Ji Shukriya Tipu, thank you so much for this information. PM Modi along with BJP President Amit Shah will also lead BJP's election campaign in Maharashtra today. While Prime Minister will address rally in Mumbai, BJP Chief Amit Shah to address public meetings in Aheri, Rajura, Vani and Savne districts. On Thursday, Prime Minister Modi once again launched an attack on the opposition parties as he addressed rallies in Bid, Satara and Pune. In Satara, the Prime Minister targeted the NCP and the Congress, saying there are differences between the Congress and the NCP, with leaders of both parties degrading each other. On the issue of development and farmers, the Prime Minister listed out the achievements of the government at the centre and the state.
हमने ये सुनिश्चित किया है, केंद्र और राज्य सरकार ने हजारों करोड़ रुपए के प्रोजेक्ट यहां के लिए दिए हैं। इसमें सड़कों पर, हाईवे पर ही हजारों करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए जा रहे हैं। कराड़ गुहागर की 4 लेनिंग का काम हो या सातारा कागल की 6 लेनिंग का काम, ऐसे अनेक प्रकल्प पर आज काम चल रहा है।
Former Prime Minister and Congress leader Manmohan Singh addressed the media in Mumbai on Thursday, reacting to BJP's attack on the party over abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. Manmohan Singh pointed out that Congress voted in favor of the abrogation of Article 370 but opposed the way in which it was implemented.
कांग्रेस पार्टी जब ये बिल पार्लियामेंट के सामने आया तो आर्टिकल 370 के ऊपर जो बातचीत हुई, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने इसके हक में वोट दिया, इसके खिलाफ वोट नहीं दिया। कांग्रेस पार्टी का ये विचार है कि आर्टिकल 370 इज a temporary measure, but it has to be changed. If a change has to be brought with the goodwill of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, the manner in which it was implemented, with the high-handedness with which it was implemented, is what we opposed. We were not opposed to the enactment of Article 370's abrogation.
Referring to PMC bank crisis, Singh said the BJP government at the centre and Maharashtra were unwilling to adopt people-friendly policies.
It's very unfortunate what has happened in the case of this bank. I appeal to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister to look into this matter and resolve the grievances of the affected 16 lakh. They should be heard immediately and their grievances redressed.
NCP Chief Sharad Pawar has said that the decision to remove Article 370 from Jammu and Kashmir will not have any effect on the election in Maharashtra. In an interview, Sharad Pawar said that the people of Maharashtra are ready for a change and will support the Congress-NCP alliance this time. Taking on Devendra Fadnavis, Pawar said that the Chief Minister has not found any solutions to the problems of farmers and industries in the state. Pawar also accused the union government of misusing its powers. Sharad Pawar also addressed an election meeting in Nashik where he said that he had publicly supported the removal of Article 370 when it first happened. He also said that since the Fadnavis government did not have achievements to list out, the BJP was making Article 370 an issue. Election campaign is on full swing in Haryana, with all political parties reaching out to the public on national and local issues. The issue of Satluj-Yamuna link canal is also back in the news as political parties try to cash in on the issue.
As the electoral atmosphere heats up in Haryana, decades-old electoral issues are being raised. The Satluj-Yamuna link canal controversy over the sharing of water of the two rivers that has been going on between Haryana and Punjab for years is just one of them. Despite a Supreme Court ruling in favour of Haryana, the state is yet to get its share of water from Punjab. However, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent remarks on the issue have raised the hopes of the people of the state.
हिंदुस्तान के किसानों के हक का पानी, हरियाणा के किसानों के हक का पानी 70 साल तक पाकिस्तान जाता रहा। ये मोदी पानी को रोकेगा, आपके घर तक लाएगा।
Opposition parties too have been bringing up the SYL issue during campaiggning.
जितने भी फार्मर्स हैं गांव में सिंचाई का पानी की बहुत दिक्कत थी। हाँ जी, इसी इलाके में खालका पंचकुला डिस्ट्रिक्ट की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, इसमें पंचकुला भी आता है। 20-20, 25-25 लाख रुपए उसमें लगता था एक ट्यूबवेल में, वो हमने बनाया है।
Even as political parties use the SYL issue to garner political mileage, experts believe it is important for the state.
पानी पंजाब से आता है, पंजाब को क्या पूरा मिल रहा है जितना उसका शेयर है? क्या वो हरियाणा को पूरा भेज पाते हैं या नहीं भेज पाएंगे? और भेजेंगे तो कहां से भेजेंगे? ये सारी समस्या जब सारे राजनीतिज्ञ अपनी पॉलिटिक्स से ऊपर उठ के एक टेबल पर बैठेंगे, बात करेंगे तो समाधान निकलेगा। पानी के दूसरे सोर्सेज भी हैं, उधर से लेकर आए और पानी दें।
Apart from the SYL canal issue, there are other issues too that are a bone of contention between Haryana and Punjab. These include a separate High Court for Haryana and demand for Haryana's stake in Chandigarh's Punjab University. Ravindra Singh Sharan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
With this, we'll halt in for a quick break on Breakfast News, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us. Welcome back. You're still with us on Breakfast News. The Enforcement Directorate has summoned senior NCP leader Praful Patel in connection with its money laundering probe linked to alleged illegal assets of late gangster Iqbal Mirchi and aide of underworld Don Daud Ibrahim. The probe agency will question the former union minister in Mumbai today. The Enforcement Directorate is expected to record Patel's statement under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. According to ED officials, Patel's Millennium Developers Private Limited constructed a building called CJ House in 2006-2007, and its third and fourth floors were transferred to Mirchi's wife, Hajra Iqbal. Patel and his party have denied any wrongdoing in the deal. Union Minister Piyush Goyal has said that ED probe was launched after Patel's signatures were found on the documents, which were also signed by the wife of gangster Iqbal Mirchi. He said the investigation was free and fair and the government had no role in it. Iqbal Mirchi, a drug lord and an accused in the 1993 Mumbai serial blast case, died in London some years back. According to Union Minister Piyush Goyal, the government is probing online platforms Flipkart and Amazon over the alleged predatory pricing. Speaking to reporters in Mumbai, Goyal said the government is looking into heavy discounts offered by e-commerce platforms Amazon and Flipkart during their special festive sales. Warning of stringent action as per the law for any violation, he said detailed questionnaires have been sent to these companies and their responses awaited. Goyal added that e-commerce companies have no right to sell products at discounts that will result in retail sector incurring major loss.
ई-कॉमर्स कंपनी को कोई अधिकार नहीं है कि वो उसके प्रोडक्ट्स को डिस्काउंट करे, वो उसके प्रोडक्ट्स को प्रीडेटरी प्राइसिंग या सस्ते में बेच के और जो हमारी रिटेल की व्यवस्था है उसको नुकसान पहुंचाए। मेरे समक्ष कुछ कंप्लेंट्स आई हैं हाल ही में, उसके ऊपर कॉमर्स मिनिस्ट्री ने 2 दिन पहले भी क्वेश्चनर भेज के बहुत सारी जानकारियां मांगी है। एक सप्लीमेंट्री क्वेश्चनर दिया जा रहा है, उसकी पूरी डिटेल्स आने के बाद इसको जो नेसेसरी एक्शन होगा सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has directed the Central Armed Police for Kesto to undertake a mega manpower planning to ensure that around 7 lakh Jawans get to spend at least 100 days with their families in a year. This means that the Jawans will be posted to their nearest units and they can travel and stay with their families when there are no operational exigencies. In order to achieve this, he said the force chiefs have been asked to assess and prepare reports of their additional manpower. Amit Shah was given a presentation last month about the functioning of the CAPFs in the ministry, after which he directed that the deployment details of the troops of these forces should be digitized. Jammu and Kashmir administration has ordered abolition of Legislative Council, asking its staff to report to General Administration Department. The state administration, in terms of Section 57 of Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Act 2019, has asked the 116-member staff of Legislative Council to report to the General Administration Department by 22nd of October. The order was issued ahead of the bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir on the midnight of 31st of October. India has asked Pakistan to reconsider its decision of imposing a $20 service fee on pilgrims visiting the Kartarpur Gurdwara. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said both India and Pakistan reached an agreement on the corridor except on the matter of the service fee. Pakistan, however, is insisting on levying a service fee to meet the operational costs of the corridor, linking the historic Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan's Kartarpur with Dera Baba Nanak Shrine in Gurdaspur district in Punjab. As per initial plan, both countries were to ink the agreement in the first half of November so that it can be thrown open to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak. The DNA Technology Regulation Bill 2019 will be examined by the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Science and Technology, Environment and Forests. The committee will be headed by Rajya Sabha MP and former Environment Minister Jairam Ramesh. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has asked the committee to examine the bill in consultation with Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. The DNA Technology Use and Application Regulation Bill 2019 was introduced in the Lok Sabha in July and deals with the regulation of the use and application of DNA technology to identify missing persons, victims, convicts, under trials and unknown dead persons. The committee has 3 months to submit its report. India is among the fastest growing economies in the world, said Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Washington. She said that efforts are being made to make the economy grow faster. Speaking at an interactive session at IMF headquarters, Sitharaman said that investors can find no better place in the world than India. She also assured the international investors that the government is continuously working to bring reforms. Turkey has agreed to a ceasefire in northern Syria to let Kurdish-led forces withdraw. The deal came after US Vice President Mike Pence and Turkey's president met for talks in Ankara. US Vice President Mike Pence on Thursday announced that the Turkish president had agreed to a ceasefire in Syria, where Turkey had launched an offensive on Kurdish forces once allied with the US in the fight against the Islamic State group. Pence also said, as per deal, all fighting will be paused for 5 days and the US will help facilitate the withdrawal of Kurdish-led troops from what Turkey terms a safe zone on the border. According to the observatory, since Turkey launched its invasion of northeastern Syria on October 9, dozens of civilians have been killed and 3 lakh have been displaced.
They really did. The Kurds were great. Great day for the Kurds. It's really a great day for civilization. It's a great day for civilization. So I just want to thank everybody. And I was prepared to do that. I just want to thank and congratulate, though, President Erdogan. He's a friend of mine, and I'm glad we didn't have a problem because, frankly, he's a hell of a leader, and he's a tough man, he's a strong man, and he did the right thing. And I really appreciate it, and I will appreciate it in the future.
US will start levying punitive tariffs on $7.5 billion worth of European Union goods from today. This after the World Trade Organization on Monday gave the go-ahead for the United States to impose the trade sanctions. The sanctions come in retaliation for the European plane maker Airbus receiving illegal subsidies. Aircraft produced in the EU will be slapped with 10% tariffs, while other products such as cheese and whiskey will be slapped with 25% tariffs. The EU is seeking WTO approval to impose tariffs on billions of dollars of US exports in a parallel dispute over subsidies to America's Boeing. The UK and the European Union declared on Thursday that they have agreed a new Brexit deal for Britain's withdrawal from the 28-member economic bloc within the 31st October deadline. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson hailed the agreement as a great new deal, while EU President Jean-Claude Juncker branded it a fair and balanced agreement. The EU President even recommended it for member countries to be ratified at an EU summit underway in Brussels this week and said no more delay is necessary. Both leaders have urged their respective parliaments in the UK and EU to back the New Deal, which is quite similar to the agreement struck by Johnson's predecessor, Theresa May. However, the New Deal continues to hang in the balance as it remains to be seen if Johnson would have the required numbers in Parliament to get it through. He is faced with an open revolt by the Northern Irish Democratic Unionist Party, which supports his Conservative Party government in the Commons. Indian Space Research Organisation released the first illuminated image of the lunar surface acquired by Chandrayaan-2 on Thursday. The image was taken by the lunar mission's high-resolution imaging IR spectrometer payload, designed to measure the solar radiation reflected off the moon's surface in 256 contiguous spectral bands from 100-kilometer lunar orbit. The major objective of IIRS is to understand the origin and evolution of the moon in a geological context by mapping the lunar surface, mineral and volatile composition using signatures in the reflected solar spectrum. India's second lunar mission was launched on 22nd July and has been described as 95% success by ISRO chief K. Sivan. And before we end the bulletin, take a look at the latest version of Bajaj's iconic scooter that changed the way India commuted back in the 90s. After 14 years, Bajaj's Chetak is making a comeback in the Indian market as an electric scooter. E-Chetak will be commercially launched in January 2020, and Pune and Bangalore will be the first two cities where the scooter will be sold. Thank you so much for watching Breakfast News.
ये ज़मीं ये आसमां, हाँ ये ज़मीं ये आसमां, हमारा कल हमारा आज, हमारा कल हमारा आज, बुलंद भारत की बुलंद तस्वीर, हमारा बजाज, बुलंद भारत की बुलंद तस्वीर, हमारा बजाज,